excited for our young men, very excited for the Panther family, the students, the administration, the faculty, and anybody that has anything to do with Georgia State University. Our kids fought through a lot of adversity. They never quit believing. The whole time they believed in themselves, and they believed in the fact that we were going to win the game no matter what. They fought through, they stuck with it, and at the end, you know, Will Lutz put it through the uprights, and we had more points than them. So it's a great day for the Panthers. We're going to enjoy this. I'll enjoy it for probably another hour, and then it's on to New Mexico State. They get through tomorrow and be proud when they go to class, and then when we start working on with them on Friday, it's on to New Mexico State. So, any questions?
Coach, can you talk about the swing of emotions when Nick threw the touchdown pass, 57 seconds left, and the penalty calls it back? Just the range of emotions, thinking that you won the game or that you'd gone ahead there with less than a minute to go and then having to regroup.
Well, you know, it shows the resiliency of our young men. You know, you had your emotions go up, and then all of a sudden you look and you see the flag, and we got to do it again. You know, and so they believe, and they stay steady keeled. You know, they never got too down. We had some lulls there. We lost some momentum. Sometimes we weren't doing what we should have, but they kept fighting back, kept fighting, and that's the mark of a true fighter. You know, there's going to be times where we're down or against the ropes, and we believe no matter what until that clock hits zero. And you know, it just showed that they can gather their senses, they can gather their emotions, and come right back at it. So I thought that's what happened. Yes, Doug.
You talked about, particularly during the 12-game losing streak from last year, how important it was for the guys to get a win.
We have a one-game winning streak.
To build on, to have something to build on. What are the components of this victory other than just the emotional stuff you can do in the running game or passing game or whatever?
We did a lot of things good. You know, offensively, they were able to run the ball. They threw it around. You know, there was a lot of good decisions. Too many turnovers. We put the ball on the ground too much. But there was a lot of things that they did well. And then at the end, when our defense had to make a stop with no timeouts, they got it done. So it didn't matter. I mean, yeah, do you want to give up as many points as we did? No. Abilene Christian has something to do with that. They're a well-coached team. Those kids are winners. They've been winning, and they've had a program around for a long time. Our kids found a way. So, you know, it was important to fight through the ups and downs of the game and keep that steady, constant focus on what we have to do to win the process and not the result.
Coach, 12 penalties for 99 yards. How do you plan on going forward next week versus New Mexico State to, I guess, fix, you know, the penalty or the mistakes that you guys have made?
We'll go practice.
Okay.
You know, I mean, there's going to be penalties. You know, the ones that kill you are the illegal procedures, self-inflicted penalties. You know, you're going to get pass interference calls. You're going to get holding calls. You know, that happens. That's a judgment call. You know, the things that we can control, a targeting or a illegal procedure, those kind of things. You know, that sloppy play early, it's good to get out there. There was a lot of really young guys playing today. And there were a lot of big eyes, and you know, sometimes things happen. So we'll clean it up in practice, and you know, we've got to reduce it. We don't ever want to have that many, but I'll take the win. Yes, sir.
This 3-minute drive, I guess it was, to win the game. You talked about you signed Nick for his leadership and his ability to get the guys in the right places. Can you go through a couple of the key plays on that drive and how he was able to do that?
Well, he was able to make a couple great scrambles for us. You know, keep his composure. Had this presence of mind to look over to me on the side to see that I wanted to clock it, but I wanted to wait and clock it. I didn't want to do it, you know, with 15 seconds and let them have a return. So, you know, I thought he kept his composure. That's why we brought him in here. He showed great leadership on the sidelines. You know, he's got one throw that two throws that he wish he had back. But, you know, for him to get his first FBS experience and go out and perform like he did and show the leadership he did, I'm very proud of him and the rest of the team. The players know who's our leaders, and Nick has really stepped into that role and is doing an excellent job, and it shows. I mean, he led us to victory, as did a lot of those guys out there tonight.
In addition to the emotional things, injuries were a big factor in the game. The game really changed when Kristen Hammond and Darrell Robinson came out of the game. Talk about those two guys coming back in the game and how their fighting affected the game.
Yeah, well, Jarrell had cramps, and he had to go in and get an IV. Christian took a hard hit to the thigh and had a contusion on his quad, but he was able to fight through the pain and come back there at the end. We kept him out at the very end because of pass protection. Hard to put a true freshman in that situation. It's a small guy. But I thought he ran the ball extremely well. You know, he was able to break tackles and showed a speed, showed a burst, and really, I thought he did a really good job. And he got banged up, but he fought through. And we have tough kids. We have tough-minded kids, young men. I say kids, and they look at me like I'm crazy. Young-minded, or young adults we have, mentally tough guys.
Did you see anything of Will before he went out for the kick?
I told him, I don't know how much time there was. It was in the fourth quarter. We were down by 9. Wasn't looking pretty, and I told him, go down there. I said, told him, I said, listen, we're going to score a touchdown. Defense is going to hold. We're going to get the ball back. We're going to score a touchdown. And then we're going to get a ball back again, and you're going to go down and win it for us. And he did it. And when they called timeout to ice him, I laughed. I said, that's nothing compared to what we put you through in practice. So, you know, he's a tough-minded young man that shows his composure, and I'm very proud of what he did out there.
Talk about the 4th and 19 a little bit.
Oh, which fourth down? There's a bunch of. It's like a blur right now. You know, I imagine it was from the one I remember was Nick stepping up in the pocket and hitting Lundquist
Yes, sir.
over the middle. I think we were in Popeye, and it was wide open. And I mean, again, great protection, great route, great throw, great pocket presence, having the patience to find the guy. It was just a great, well-executed play by those young men out there.
They actually scored after this, but how big was that interception there early in the fourth quarter? It seemed like you were back at your heels, and that gave you, I guess, a little bit of life there.
Huge momentum. You know, Joe P., our defensive leader, you know, Joe Peterson made a great play and ran, got us great field position, and, you know, it swung the momentum, you know. There's a lot of moments in the game of football that it's about momentum, and it swung it back to our side and picked us up a little bit.
Talk about the offensive line a little bit. They were banged up. Had Taylor out.
I thought they played well. Hey, Doug, Taylor Evans is out right now. He dislocated his elbow.
Dislocated his elbow. How long is he out for, Coach?
I don't know. We'll see. I'll talk to the doctors when I go there and see him. But I thought they played extremely well up front. I thought the O-line moved them around. We ran the ball well. I haven't looked at the stats, but anytime you can have 566 yards of offense, you know, and we were able to rush it for 153. You know, I mean, they're doing something right. I don't know how many sacks. I think they gave up maybe 1 sack. I'm not 100% sure. I don't have my reading glasses on, but somewhere in there, 1 or 2. So I thought they performed extremely well, and they most of them were out there the whole time. We didn't make but one sub. Tim Wynn got cramps at one time in the game, and he fought through and came back. So I thought those kids performed really well.
As well as the offensive, as well as your offense played, the defense gave up a lot of yards. What was Abilene Christian doing that was causing those issues?
They were able to get some guys open and find some guys. I mean, anytime you're dropping back and throwing it around, you know, and you get guys open, they can move the ball. I thought their quarterback played really well. I thought their receivers played well. They didn't turn the ball over, other than the 1 interception. You know, I didn't see any fumbles. I didn't see a lot of drop passes. I thought they performed really well. So, you know, anytime you've got some talent out there and they're running around and they're throwing it, you're going to put some points on the board, especially with these, you know, no-huddle offenses.
This win this game helped reinforce what you worked on in practice, getting that first win of the season.
Excuse me, I didn't.
Getting a win, does that help reinforce what you worked on in practice? Let the guys know, hey, I'm right. You see it.
Well, it's not about me being right. You know, it's they know that I've got their best interest, you know, in my mind, and it's not about, you know, proving that they have the utmost confidence in our coaching staff, and we have the utmost confidence in them. And it's a great deal for them to reinforce all the work that they're putting in. Does have, you know, a reward, and you know, if you're a winner, there's nothing more important than having that feeling and capturing that feeling and continuing it. So, you know, it reinforces everything. But no, I'm not worried about me, you know, proving me right. No, I don't worry about that. Yes, sir.
I remember you mentioning a lot about how you really wanted to put emphasis on the running game. How your team ran for 153 yards, and it seemed as though that whenever you was able to set up the running game, whether it was with Neal or Hammond, it opened up those passing lanes. So
Yes.
talk a little bit about that.
Well, running the ball is key. I mean, good football teams run the ball. They have the ability to run the ball, and it doesn't matter what level, whether it's high school, college, or pros. You know, you have to have the ability to run the football, and it's really a statement. It's a toughness statement. It's saying that, you know, we're going to be able to come off and try to move you guys, and there's, you know, and keep control of the clock. So, you know, we will always try to run the football.
Coach,
Last question.
Almost 600 yards, 38 points, and not even 26 minutes of the ball. Were it not for the penalties and the 3 turnovers, how high could you guys have gone? How good?
I can't tell you how many points we could score, but I can tell you that the more we have the ball, the more chances we have to score. So we like to keep possession of it. I think, you know, we've got a really good offense. They've got a great coaching staff, and they had a great plan. And it all comes down to these young men. They went out and executed. There is a lot we left on the table, and once we get it all ironed out and start working through the kinks and the self-inflicted, you know, penalties and turnovers, I think the sky's the limit for them.
Yeah, you called out before the game now that you've hit the game-winning field goal.
I hope so. I don't see it anyway, so.
Talk about your emotions, having been a part of the team the last 2 years, to be able to deliver for your team and give them the win.
You know, it's amazing. We always say pound the rock away. So being able to like pull out a win in that fashion is just awesome for the guys. And then, you know, Nick getting me down there, it's all in him. So can't take the credit for it.
You know, you've been in this experience. I can't remember if it was last year or 2 years ago that we missed. Did that flash into your mind at all? Did you learn from that and apply anything to this kick?
I hadn't even thought about it, to be honest with you. And he went out there, you know, Hubbard told me earlier, he asked me how I was feeling, and I just told him it kind of feels like practice. It's my 3rd year doing it, so it's just another kick.
We should have text that your kick-led sports is that's the advantage of being the only team playing tonight. So just talk about that and the publicity that'll bring for Georgia State and how that can be good for the program.
I mean, anytime a win is in dramatic fashion, it's publicity for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So to have that in Sports Center, being the first game, it's just a cool experience.
Can you go through the 4th and 13 play to Blair?
I kind of knew the coverage they were going to be in. They had been in it the whole series where they were just playing 3 safeties. I knew that the seams would be open. I just had to move that middle safety, so I tried to step in the pocket and look one way and get the safety to move, and came back to hit Quez. I hit him on the key 3rd down, kind of in the same fashion earlier in the game, and he's the senior leader of the offense, and I have a great chemistry with him, and I know I can go with him in the clutch.
Talk about going into the half, actually. You guys were in a similar situation. You were, you know, time was against you guys. You guys at the 50-yard line. You made a key throw, actually, for a touchdown. Were you guys actually going for the home run play, or were you did the play develop in such a way that a touchdown ensued?
Oh, I was going for the home run play. I mean, I knew I was going to throw that post route, whether the safety was back there or not. I have full trust in Avery. I've thrown to some fast Division I receivers in my time, but I've never really thrown to anybody as fast as Avery. I know that he can beat anybody. I just had to buy myself enough time in the pocket for him to get down the field. And I've hit him so many times in that post route practice. I told him coming into the game I was going to throw it to him. Told him on the sideline I was going to throw it to him. Told him I was going to try to hit him on it. And we did. We connected.
2 scrambles there in the last drive there. You haven't really been forced out of the pocket that much during the game. What did you see there? And obviously knowing that there was little time left, what did you see there on those 2 runs?
Well, on the first one, anytime a defense drops 8 men into coverage, it's hard to find people open. So I tried to get out of the pocket, give our receivers a little bit more time to try to get open in the coverage, and everybody dropped back with the receivers that were scrambling to get open. And so I knew I could just take off, get what I could. I'd already had the first down, so I wasn't too worried about trying to get out of bounds because I knew the clock would stop. And then the last one, they were spreading the linebackers out whenever we went 5 wide receivers and leaving the box open. So we had a pass play called. I saw their linebackers spread out, so I called a draw. And I took it up the middle. I knew I could get the ball closer to field goal range and then just be able to spike it. And I have full trust in Will Lutz to win us in any game.
Did you check that draw?
Oh yeah. I told that we didn't really have too much in the game plan, but we had a draw set up with the running back. I asked the offensive line on the sideline, hey, is it the same block, and can I just check that this play? You guys know what to do. They gave me the okay, so I just went with it.
And Nick, I'll ask you the same question I asked Coach about the touchdown to Harden and having that call back. What were your range of emotions just in thinking that you gone ahead, taking the lead, and giving yourself a great chance to win the game, and then all of a sudden having to come back down and realize, okay, we have another player to run.
As I started to scramble and I started to throw the ball, I thought I saw a flag fly out of the corner of my eye. And I know any time the flag comes from that direction, it's going to be a holding penalty. So I threw it in the air. I got so excited for a second. I immediately turned back, looked for the flag, saw it. And for a second there, I was really disappointed. But after that, I knew full well that we can do it again. I have full confidence in our offense. We can make more than just one play. It was disappointing, couldn't get the touchdown. Donovan couldn't get the touchdown in his yards, but at least it looked nice.
Talk about the bubble screens. I noticed you guys did a lot of bubble screens, and is that somewhat of a run? Nowadays they set up the pass as a run. Is that more so like setting up the run for you guys so that you guys can spread out the offense and take shots down the field? Yeah,
and it does a great job of spreading the linebackers out, forcing the safeties out of the box and stuff. That way we can run more. Whenever you can get a linebacker spread out to the receiver and worrying about the bubble screen, he's not going to be there to stop the run. So I think it was really able to open up Christian and Kyler and the other running backs to really find more holes up the middle. We ran the ball extremely well. I think it was 150 yards or whatever Coach Miles said. And I think the screens, especially in the beginning part of the game, were a big part of that.
What does this win do for the program?
It does a lot. I mean, anytime you can start one, that's huge. And we ended a big losing streak. I think the program hadn't won since like 2012, November or something like that. So we finally get the monkey off our back, per se. And we worked really hard. We knew we were winners coming into the game. This is a team that's going to find a way to win at all costs. That's what winners do. I mean, we individually didn't play perfect. I threw 2 interceptions, missed some throws. We had some receivers drop some passes. Running backs put the ball on the ground. Offensive line missed blocks. Defense, gave up plays. Individually, we're not perfect, but as a team, we're 1-0 and we are perfect right now, and that's the important part.
Talk about the 2 interceptions and what you saw and how would you change the way you approach those throws?
Well, I definitely want to throw it again, that's for sure. The first one, I didn't see the corner come down on our screen. I got it out there. I didn't see him come down to the ball was in the air, and I couldn't bring it back. The second one, he was open. I just threw the wrong kind of pass. I could have put it more on his back shoulder and slowed him down. I kind of put it out in front of him because I didn't see the safety really. I thought he was going to come down more on the pump fake. I'm glad that they weren't the same mistake over again. I take pride in not making the same mistake over again. Interceptions have never really bothered me too much. I've been able to go on it. Tomorrow night when I look at film, it's going to bother me. But during the game, I'm really on to the next play. I've thrown my share of interceptions, so it's nothing new.
Any other questions? You want to ask?
Can you talk about your emotions going into the final drive? Knowing you're going to have the ball in your hand for a chance to win the game?
Very excited, but in a calm manner. I try to stay calm most of the time, especially when we're going to go on offense. Determination was the key, though. it's kind of the way I am. I love those moments. I love the offense having the opportunity to win at the end of the game. Done it in the past, and honestly, when you can come through and execute at the end, it's the greatest feeling, the greatest way to win.
Last question.
Actually, a couple of them. I looked at the stats: 413 yards, one shy of tying the school record for passing yards in a single game. And also, I remember you talking to me when you first came here in March, and you said to everybody in Panther family that this team was going to win some games, and this hopefully for your team was going to be for you is going to be the start of something.
Yeah, hopefully, I really do hope that we do win more than one game. And I was really 1 yard short. I really regret checking in that quarterback draw. I should have thrown a 5 yard hitch, I guess. Wish I knew that, so somebody would have told me. Well, I guess I'll try to throw for 4-15 another game, but anytime that we can get a win, it's nice.